Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, Twitch chat, and welcome back to Let Us Play. I'm your host, Father Evan, and it is good to be back with y'all. I missed y'all last week. Had a good week away. It was productive, but I'm happy to be back with y'all. Before we dive in, want to give some shout outs and thank yous to some followers. Thank you to FXL3. I don't know if that's Fuxel or FXL, so you know what? Porque no los dos. Faithy Lou, thank you for the follow as well. And I have no idea how to parse this one. Pi Ida Simon OP. Just going to call you Simon. Welcome, Simon. Thank you for the follow. So I hope everyone's having a good day, had a good weekend. Staying good to their Lenten promises if you do that thing. Gail's redeemed a father joke. Oh, man, you have been waiting for that, haven't you? So one hat says to the other, "You stay here. I'll go on ahead." Get it? Ahead. On that terrible note. I please myself sometimes. I think that's all that's important. No, because you repeat it. Nope. You're going to have to redeem another 2,500 points. Hey, Kit. You're going to redeem one with Gale beat you too. That's okay. It's only about a 10-minute cooldown. Lots of time left in the stream. So anytime... Wait, last time... You may notice there's two saves now. I promised I would try and do some power leveling off screen. And I realized... Wait, why power level? When instead, I can just rebuild. And so I made an entirely new deck. That basically revolves around fire slates. And I've already tested it, and I beat Vexen on my first try. So I have high hopes about myself. Wait, how do I glide? I thought... There we go. I don't need to glide. But... high hopes. He has high hopes. And my hope includes not listening to Vexen. Because a lot of the physical stuff we were trying to do with our slates wasn't working great against him because of that shield. Well, no, I don't want to taste this. I don't know what it is, but I don't want it. I want him to try and use his slate here. Whoop! Squirrel Itch has resubscribed for 5 months. Welcome back, Squirrel Itch. Good to see you. Come on, hit him, hit him! How dare that fire miss? Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. I don't know how I survived that with 1 hit point, but you know what? We will take it. No, no. I'm gonna cancel your attack. Thank you. I did not ask for you to bully me today, Vexen. No! Fire! Fire! I shall freeze you! Yeah! Here you go! Back off! Taste this! This is it! It's a good chance to use that. You know what? I'll do a triple Goofy here. Why not? Goofy, he's right here. Get him. No, Goofy. Goofy. Oh my goodness. Goofy misunderstood the assignment.
Fire! Fire! Back off! I've had enough of this.
Funny, so have I. Okay, now that we've done that, so we're now out of attack cards, but now we just go ham on the Faraga. Why did that not target? Perfectly normal human noises. And look at that. First reload of the entire battle, and he's already at his last health bar. Oh shoot, that did not go well. Rude. Can't just walk up to a child and call them an imbecile. Okay, we are very close. Look how close we are. Oh wait, you can't see his health bar. Dang it. Okay. Whew. Good afternoon, Squirrel Edge. Welcome back. Remember your orbital mechanics to manipulate Goofy. I was trying. Yeah, unfortunately, the enemy health bar is right behind my head. T. You know what? We're gonna raise Sora's health.
You have such strength, even at
Move
the
my head.
mercy of your memory.
It's not helping.
None of that matters. Just put Riku back.
Just put him back.
Put him back, forehead.
The Riku you speak of has but one fate, to sink into the darkness. And you will share that fate, Sora.
Dramatic
If you
much?
continue to seek the girl Namine, the shackles will tighten. You'll lose your heart and end up becoming Marluxia's pawn.
What's a Marluxia?
What does Naminé have to do with... Ugh. Axel!
Yo, Sora. Did I catch you at a bad time?
I mean, it's a little awkward.
Axel, why?
I came to stop you from talking too much. By eliminating your existence.
No, don't do it.
We are just nobodies who have no one to be, yet we still are. But now you can be nothing instead of just being a nobody. You're off the hook.
No, please don't. I don't want it.
Goodbye.
Savage.
What are you? What are you people?
Don't know. I wonder about that myself.
Ouch, rude. I think that's one of the better cutscenes in this game. Like, the Axels are ruthless. Just... I don't know what you'd call them exactly. Just like brute of the organization. We're gonna change our deck back to the... Wait. Oh, there it is. Okay. Got thrown off for a moment. One of the easiest fights in the game, and yet he can one-shot a guy just like that. Yeah, I mean, plot. Yeah, the release order was 1, of course, and then COM on the GBA, then 2. Recom, I don't remember if Recom came out before 1 or 2. I think it came after 2, but I'm not sure. And then 358 over 2 came out on the DS later. Anyway, do we have anything that's worthwhile throwing in here? The 25? Honestly, I don't mind doing this because then we get a Sanzen Sukin or whatever as the first slate. Are they games or math puzzles? Yes.
Nice work. I say
Rota.
good riddance to that blabbermouth.
I'll do it after this
Marluxia.
cutscene.
You used Vexen to test Sora's strength, didn't you?
Not just Sora's, it was yours too. We weren't sure if you actually had it in your bones to take out a fellow member. Well, I guess that you did. It's time to join up. Taking over the organization will be like child's play with the three of us.
So that's where Sora comes in.
Of course. He wants to see Naminé, so why don't we just give him what he wants?
Just give me what I want.
Rejoice.
Oh, hi, Naminé.
The time is near for you to meet the hero that you've been longing for.
I'm glad.
Really?
But
You don't
I'm
seem it.
warning you better not do anything to betray Sora's feelings. Do you understand me, little one? I understand.
Her feet are as long as her shins.
All you need do is layer Sora's memories.
Uh,
and bring
I
his
can't
heart
unsee
closer
it.
to you.
In answer to your question, Squirrelige, we're very close to the end because we're now on floor 12. There's 13 floors, and 13's just
Sora.
the final boss. But then there's Reverse Rebirth, so we're only about
come for
halfway
me?
through. Actually, probably about 2/3.
What then?
Reverse Rebirth's fast. Anyway, hi again.
Riku!
You'll hurt Naminé if you go further.
You still want to fight? But Vexen's
Yeah,
gone,
Reverse Rebirth
so
is when he
now
plays
you're
Riku
free.
going
Doesn't matter
back
what
down the
happens to
castle.
him. I'm protecting Naminé from you. That's what's in my heart.
But not this Riku.
Sora.
This is a fake Riku.
I made a promise to Naminé. I promised to keep her safe.
When?
You did?
There was a meteor shower. This one night when she and I were little.
Hey, that's my memory.
Naminé got scared and said, "What if a shooting star hits the islands?" So I told her, "If a shooting star comes this way, I will protect you."
You made a promise with a toy sword.
What? How do you know about that?
Because that was the promise I made to her that night. I would
Is
protect
Naminé
her.
making promises with
I said
everyone?
it.
Don't lie!
Oh, yeah.
You weren't the one there
The
that
mics in this
night.
are terrible,
You're the one who wasn't
especially
there.
Riku's for some reason.
That was when she gave her
So
good luck charm
crunchy.
to me.
Her what?
See?
Tell me. Where did you get that?
Oh, our robot's failing.
Sora. Good try.
Can't come
That
up with
must be a
another
fake.
story, so you just tell it
I've
over
got
and
the
over
real
again.
one
Multiple
right
people.
here.
Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man.
Fake should be destroyed!
Anyway, while we're beating up Riku, Rotada. So in today's gospel, Jesus says, "Stop judging, and you won't be judged." And it's like, well, that sounds nice, but the world doesn't exactly work that way. Oh, I didn't mean to blitz there. I'm relearning how this deck is laid out. Because it's not that if we stop judging, others will stop judging us, but we are still called to something new, something greater by virtue of our baptism. Unlike Riku here,
It's over. Heal. Goofy. Yeah. It's over.
no, I cast Faraga.
Heal. Fire. Drop. There.
How did he break my Sun Senzuxin? My Sennheiser 720s?
You gotta be kidding. Get ready. Yeah. It's over.
I refuse to believe that he had a 0.
Yeah. Heal.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Fire. Drop.
Uh-oh. Anyway, it's not about not judging to, but it is a reflection and a reminder that, like, we can use judging as a form of protection. He has 4. I refuse to believe it. He has 0. We almost had him, too. We had him down to 2 more hit health bars, even though you can't see it. You have to trust me. I feel like I'm missing something there with Sun Senzu. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to do something else, but just glad I remembered where that was.
It's over. It's over.
The AI is not perfect and often combos with 0 nullifying it. Lol.
It's over. Yeah. Heal. Fire. Yeah. You gotta be kidding.
Shoot. Ah. I got my 0 too slowly there.
Get ready. Heal. Drop.
Ooh, whoops. Wasn't paying attention to numbers.
This is it.
Sonic Blade, Sonic Blade. Sonic Blade is so good.
It's over.
Okay, he has like a fraction of his last hit bar. There we go. Bad robot Riku. Riku. They're called replicas in this game. Trying to figure out. Oh, is that a mega potion? Sweet. How is a mega potion different from a high potion? And different from an elixir? Yeah, we'll look at it later.
Riku.
Bye, Riku.
I forgot nominates good luck charm.
It's
Did I
just
have more
like
on the
mine.
Rotunda? Yeah, I get, just the newness of life
How'd he
that we're
get
called
this?
to by our baptism calls us to reflect on the words of how am I. Because Jesus says, stop judging, and it's like, oh, were it so simple to just stop,
Into a cord.
we can instead reflect on it. What can I do today to do a little bit less and do a little bit more of the positive things that Christ mentions, such as, you know, giving of ourself and loving, being merciful.
I don't understand what's going on.
Hey, Britt. Neither do I,
Let's just
Donald.
keep moving, okay? It doesn't matter.
It does matter. How can two of you have the same memory? You can't both be right.
Witchcraft.
I'm
That's
wrong.
how. Oh, I'm doing fine.
Fine, then don't believe me.
That's not what he meant. We're just kind of worried.
Then let's ask Naminé. That should
I believe
clear
this
it up.
level is known as Sora's angsty
Look,
teen phase.
we don't have time to sit around, so let's go.
Sora, what happened to you?
What's that mean?
Well, you always get real touchy when it comes to stuff about Naminé. But before we came to this castle, you didn't even remember what her name was.
Now Naminé's the only thing you talk about.
It doesn't make sense. Maybe you should just slow down and think ahead about some of these things.
Yeah, don't respond purely on your
Think
emotions,
ahead.
Sora.
What is the matter with you guys?
Nope.
You want me to abandon her?
No, that's not it.
Then do whatever you want. You can lay back and take a nap for all I care. I'm going to find Naminé.
Sora!
Quit being petulant. Sora can't think ahead. Sora can't think. Fair, fair.
You're all that he's got left. So then, if you don't stop this, no one will.
But it's too late.
You shouldn't give up just yet.
That's it, Axel. Gaslight the girl.
Say, Naminé, have you noticed Marluxia doesn't seem to be around?
What are you saying?
Just that there's no one here who would want to get in your way. Just make it count. Now this should be interesting. Try and make it enjoyable, Sora. It's the least you can do for me, you know. Hey, wait. I'm enjoying this. You guys are something else.
That sentence makes no sense in no context land that we're in.
Sora, that was no way to...
Keep it to yourself.
Ooh, Sora. Normally, Sora, I want to be on your side because you're the hero, but you're being a complete butt right now. It doesn't even make sense in context until you realize the things that are said are not always the truth. Consumer way of saying didn't ask. Yeah, can we get a rewrite of Sora as the Zoomer? I mean, yeah, Xemnas didn't speak the truth, which is also spelled with an X, by the way, but anyway. I'm not going crazy, am I? Well, I know exactly where this is. Yeah, this is our island. Where Namine and I used to play. Hey! Hey, it's characters from Final Fantasy 8 and 10. What's up, Sora? So, what you want to do today? Hey, guys. Am I glad to see you, what? We got food on our faces? Please, Waka. Only you could be dumb enough to not notice food stuck to your face. Hey, whoa, that's a low blow, yeah? I don't know, Waka. I think Selfie's on the mark. Aw, not you two, Titus. Oh yeah, you're Selfie, Waka, and Titus. That's who you are. You hit your head? No, I'm just thinking out loud. I know, you're thinking about her again. Oh yeah, I get it. He's a total zombie when she's on his mind. That would explain why he's acting all funny toward us. I bet you want to take a hike so you two can be alone, huh? I guess? Alright. We'll disappear for a while. Go find her, cowboy. We'll try to be quiet while we spy on you. Hey, Sora's serious. Give the guy some room. I'm only kidding, partially. See you later, Sora. We need a Gen Alpha rewrite so we can expect Skibbity Toilet and Riz. I hate that I know what those words mean. And I know young Blake was lurking earlier, so if you're still listening, young Blake, I mostly blame you for the Riz one. Oh, this deck is a mess. I need to clean it up. Because these zeros were strategically placed to help me in boss fights. But against ordinary Heartless, they're kind of awkward. Oh well. Honk! Squirrel has redeemed timeout. Okay. Gale, would you mind timing out Squirrelich for 3 minutes? Gonna lurk for a bit. Sounds good. Oh, leave me alone. I'm trying to activate my potion. Oh, yeah, and I need to figure out what a... Oh, wow, that does nothing against these nerds. Because they're floating. At that timeouts are, in fact, in seconds. Yep. Oh, I need to look at... Yeah, well, whatever. What does a Mega Potion do versus a High Potion? Resets the reload counter. Oh, that's big. That's worth hanging on to until late. Like, if you have a reload counter of 2 or even 3. How expensive is this? $49. That's actually not too bad. Oh shoot, I thought I had 3 wishes there. Thought I was doing a sliding dash.
It's over. It's over.
Do want to take out the horns pretty quickly, though, because they like to summon friends. Oh, I have 2 Sonic Blades in here if I want. It's nice. If I could remember that, it'd be more helpful, but, you know.
Heal. Fire. Ha, yeah. Ha. Ha.
Just let me defeat you. Thank you. One thing I don't like about this game, and which... Okay, Holy. Which adds up to quite a few things that I've said now. Okay, so Mega Ether, Mega Elixir, and an item card. I don't have a Mega Ether or a Mega Elixir. I don't think. I have an Elixir. Oh, I do have Mega Ether. But I don't have a Mega Elixir. Mega Elixir would be nice. Anyway, among things I don't like about this game is that the Keyblades are stronger, but you don't get them a ton.
It's over.
If that makes sense, like, you're still pretty stuck with using the Kingdom Key a lot. And even the newer Keyblades are not that much more powerful. So late game, like, it's just a bit of a slog because like enemies have so much more health, but you're still doing about the same damage.
It's over. Heal. Fire.
Okay, that's not what I wanted to hit with that fireball, but okay. How was my weekend? My week away was good. For the weekend, I was back at the parish, which was good. I had 2 of the masses.
This is it.
Had a well-received homily, which is always a good feeling. I mean, it's kind of an affirmation you did a good job of listening to the scripture and listening to the needs of your community.
It's over.
Oh, shoot. Didn't mean to do that.
Fire.
So, what about yourself? Did you have a good weekend, Britt? I totally have misplayed this.
It's over.
Because I did not... I did a reload earlier. I did not take care of this trumpeter fast enough.
It's over.
So it summoned a shadow. This is going worse than some of the boss fights I've been in.
Heal. Fire. There.
I think at this point I'm not going to focus on clearing every room because this is the last floor, so... Sort of. There is also the 13th floor, but that one's pretty short, I think, from what I remember. Sora learned Judgment. Oh, I think he was already doing that. Oh, so it's like a Strike Raid, but better.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was good. You had a virtual call Friday. Went to a birthday dinner with friends. Oh, that's right. You had your birthday party. Your virtual birthday party this weekend. Happy belated birthday.
Yeah.
Sorry I wasn't able to make it. Volleyball. Fun.
Yeah. This is it. Ha! Ha! Yeah. It's over.
Yes. Get stuck in the corner. Be an easy vulnerable target.
It's over. Yeah. Ha! Fire.
No. Stop trumpeting. No trumpeting for you.
Yeah. Ha! This is it.
You were up till 4 a.m. Saturday night. Yeah. Still, it can be worth it.
Yeah. Ha! It's over. Yeah.
Looming darkness. Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. It's over. This is it.
Honestly, Sonic Blade is just a really good slate.
Yeah. It's over.
Sun Zenzuken makes you break with it unloadable except by item. Oh, so like I'll break the enemy cards? Is that what you're saying? So like if I'm up against a boss and I do the Z move, they won't be able to follow up with their own shenanigans. Aha! So that's what's good about it. I figured there had to be a reason. It also does seem to do good damage.
Yeah. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. Ha! Yeah.
No, stay away from me.
Yeah.
More looming darkness.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I hit the attack button, but, you know. Sometimes you just live here now.
It's over. It's over. Yeah. Yeah.
I did math wrong in my head. I thought that would get up to 10. I was wrong.
It's over. Yeah. Yeah. It's over. Yeah. It's over.
Now I'll never pass the test to be a math mage in the king's court.
Fire! Heal! Ha! Yeah! It's over! Ha! Yeah! Rah! Yeah! Ha! Ha! Yeah!
Okay, what's this door? Oh, I see. It's a really weirdly laid out room. Because you can't go up there. Cool. 2. 8. Key of Beginnings. Riku! Again! Hey Sora, what's the big rush? I know you. You're Riku! Uh-oh, he's losing grip on reality. Gee, thanks for remembering me. It's been, what, a couple of hours? Never mind. Are you okay? Are you still under his control? What are you talking about? Alright, good to see you. Thanks for the lurk. I get it. You must be the Riku from my memories. The Riku from my memories? Sounds like you're stuck in the land of make-believe. Guess I kinda am. Haha, you're such a kid. How are you gonna take care of her if you act like that? Hey, speaking of her... What's happening? How should I know? It's your memory. Whatever it is, it can't be good. I'm gonna go warn the others. Then I should go... I know. It's your job to look after her. Go, Sora. Okay. I like how the Riku of Sora's memory is, like, very accommodating. It's like, yeah, I know it's your job. Don't worry. You go ahead. It spat me back out here. Why didn't it just spit me back out there? Whatever. Music to gentle piano. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Yeah, I got nothing. It's because the combat theme for Destiny Islands was written originally with the whole end of Destiny Islands in mind. No, I wanted that card.
Yeah. Ha. Yeah. It's over. This is it. This is it. Yeah.
Guess it's hard to keep the suspense going given the format of the levels. Yeah. Well, and it's reusing the music from 1 is what I'm saying. It's like, that was the music meant for, like, when it... Like, this combat music is when Destiny Islands is literally falling apart and there's a giant Heartless attacking you.
It's over. Fire!
Oops. That elixir is so low level. Ooh, and I just wasted both my potions. It's okay.
Yeah. Ha. This is it. Yeah. Ha. Yeah.
Gonna do a little healing here.
Fire!
I think I want a little more card points. Just with the boss, the final boss coming up pretty quick. Just get a few more of those elixirs in there. Because honestly, the Vexen fight having double elixirs was really nice. Okay. Let's go shopping. Why not? But before we actually go shopping... Oh, okay, that's where the treasure room's going to connect to. Okay. I was going to say let's go to the treasure room first, but... Never mind on that. We're still going to go to the treasure room. Not bad. Couple crab claws. I like crab claw. It's a good one. I kind of want to buy a rare magic one, because we could use stop. Because we have that slate that's really good. So maybe there's stuff we can sell. I don't think I'm going to use Gargoyle. Well, maybe, but probably not. We didn't get enough for the super rare one, the Moogle one, but we'll get the black belt one. And we didn't get any stop magic. But we did get arrow, so that's nice, because that has the strike rate, but better. Ah, I did not even see that mushroom there.
Yeah, it's over. This is it.
Well, maybe this is the real reason I like Kingdom Hearts so much, is it lets you destroy mushrooms. You'll know how I feel about mushrooms.
Yeah.
I literally have an emote about it.
It's over. It's over. It's over. Yeah. Yeah.
You have two, one mushroom and one nose shroom. You don't know what to believe. Well, I figured if I'm gonna have a nose shroom, I'll let the mushroom lovers, as wrong as they are, still have that. blue one's actually kind of hard. There we go. Not a big fan of mushrooms either. There you go. Well, now you have an emote for that. Part of my brain, I think, so I had those made by an intern here at the office. Shout out to Ignatz, the intern who did that. They have an art credit when they show up in chat. I was thinking you could use for like yay, nay. That never really came about. I might drop the yes shroom at some point. I'm keeping the no shroom for sure. This is actually a really good rearrangement of the Destiny Islands theme, I think. Am I a picky eater? I don't think so anymore. I used to be. But I do still have a few things where I'm just like, nope, not gonna eat that. And part of mushrooms is their biology is weird. Mega Elixir! Oh, that is so hype to get. I'm so glad we did this. How many points? Okay, so for the record, level 1 Elixir is worth 45 points. Actually, 55? And resets the reload counter? That's not bad. That's not bad at all. And we can do that one slate. What was it? I think it was Holy? Yeah, Holy. Mega Ether, Mega Elixir, and an item. You don't see the no mushroom emoji? It's absolutely there. Anyway, we could do that. That'll be good to have on hand. So we'd have to do a little bit of reworking, but you know what? I don't think I need 2 Mega Potions in this deck right now. Because I've got the Mega Elixir. Now, the problem with doing Holy is it uses up the Mega Elixir. So let's try it out in a combat scenario, see how it is. I don't think I'm going to use it against the final boss. Wait. I'm confused as to where to go. Okay, I am on board with that in fights like this. That is, yes, please. So it's a long... Oh, I have to do platforming. Game, let me do the platforming, please. Oh wait, there's a ladder. I keep trying to platform onto the tree, onto the thing there. Nope, the answer is take a ladder. So anyway, how's your Monday going? I'm being outsmarted by a video game. What happens if you hit a palm tree? Sometimes they'll drop items.
Light.
Got a mole removed yesterday. Otherwise, pretty good. Well, that's good. It's always good to get those moles taken care of early. Although, you don't want them selling all your secrets to the Kremlin.
It's over. Yeah. Ha!
A mole is a term used for someone who works inside an industry or government, but it spies for another industry or government. Oh, wait, yeah. Yep, got it. Holy smokes, Batman. Well, yes, holy does work well. See? Ah, see? That one dropped something.
Light.
In Chrono Trigger, that ability is called Luminaire. Because Nintendo of America had this weird... You can't have religious themes or imagery in your games.
It's over. Yeah. Ha!
And so even something like the word holy was removed and replaced. That is, in fact, gratuitous educational content. What can I say? I like learning. And I like sharing that learning. Don't need more Kingdom Keys. Kingdom Key is worst key in this. All right, let's see what's behind door number 50. Oh, hello, you are in the last area? Oh, sure, here, we're going to give you just, like, super high-costed stuff. Nope, wait, no. Expansive door. Yeah, it's like diamond encrusted. There's the Destiny Islands we all know.
The island!
Am I gonna fight a dark side? Am I prepared to fight a dark side? Well, we're about to find out, because there's the dark side. I've always loved the dark side design, the way the hairs kind of wrap around the lower part of the head, and the hollow heart in the chest. They look so good in the Fragmentary Passage with Aqua. Oh, it only has 3 health bars. That is not a lot. Oh, come on. They keep cheating me out of my attacks.
It's over.
The problem is I don't want to use slates because then this fight is weird. This does not work within the mechanics.
It's over. There.
Guess this is what you're supposed to do.
Fire.
Wow. That gives you, like, no time at all to do anything.
Heal. Yeah. It's over.
Because Darkseid's attacks, you really need to use them to actually, you know, hit it. But the problem is when you cancel out an attack,
It's over.
in this game, it resets a lot of the animations, like that.
Yeah. It's over. Heal. Fire. This is it.
So a lot of these slates are actually not very helpful. I need to wait for him to really do that to
Yeah.
hit him with a lot of
It's
slates.
over. Yeah.
Okay, that's a good spot to be. No, Sora. There we go. That was an obnoxious fight. Darkseid.
Okay, I have to keep her safe. Naminé, can you hear me? Oh. Naminé.
Sora, you really came for me.
It's you. It's really you. I've been through so much just to see you.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I wanted to see you too, but this isn't right. I messed up. I wanted to see you, but this isn't the right way.
Naminé?
I was lonely for so long. I just couldn't bear it anymore. So I called out to your heart and had you come all the way out to this place. You came for me and I'm so happy, but to your heart I had to.
Don't worry. I'm here because I promised that I would protect you.
Sora,
You never promised that I implanted that memory
Thank
within you.
and I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to be in this picture.
I love you,
That's
but
true.
that's not your kid.
Naminé?
That isn't me. I'm not there. I don't really exist inside your heart. I don't exist in anyone's heart. I never have existed anywhere.
What? What are you saying? What's gotten into you? Weren't we inseparable? Always together? But then you had to go away. I came here so I'd never lose you again.
Was it really me you wanted to see?
Of course it was. I know I've forgotten a lot of things in this castle, but never anything about you. Look! You gave this to me, didn't you?
You have it. My good luck charm. No, Sora! You can't believe me!
What am I supposed to do?
Think, Sora. Think just one more time. About who's most special to you. Call out to that piece of memory that glimmers faintly deep inside your heart. No matter how far away the light gets, your heart's voice will always reach it.
Who's most special to me? That's an easy one. It's you, Name.
That's Kyrie's good luck charm. Who was that? I can't remember her, but she feels so familiar. Naminé? Naminé! Ooh, Oathkeeper. So, some context. Naminé is Kyrie's nobody. What is a nobody? Okay, we've met a bunch of them. Everyone in the Black Cloak is a nobody. Nobodies happen when someone's heart turns to the darkness and becomes a heartless. And it leaves behind... The heart becomes the heartless, and then the body and the mind becomes a nobody if that person is of a strong heart. Naminé is a weird exception in that she doesn't... All the others have, like, their names scrambled and add an X to it. So, like, Axel's real name was Lee, L-E-A. Naminé is kind of the weird exception. She's actually Kyrie's nobody, but because Kyrie never really lost her body, the rules get weird, but she has magic powers over Sora's memory because of her connection to Sora's heart. And she can mess with that memory and the memory of those chained to him, hence why this is called Chain of Memories, quite literally. Organization discovers her. They basically use her to try and wipe Sora's memory because they want to use Sora for reasons that we will discover later.
Naminé! It isn't you. The person most special to me. It's not you, right?
No. The girl you really care about. The one who was always with you. It's not me. It's her.
But then who is she? 'Cause I can't think of her name. If she's so special to me, then why can't I remember?
Because I went into your memories and...
Let me explain this. Huh? Plain and simple.
No, it's simple and clean.
Your memory is a train wreck. You're not the one who's meant to protect Naminé. It's supposed to be me!
Are we gonna do this
But
again,
you and your
Riku?
messed up memories are always in the way. Sora!
Riku the third time. Yeah. That was a little too fast there on the... How is bro not exhausted after beating up on him on 2 different occasions? Because he's a robot. I was holding on to that Sansetsuken too long. Trying to get cute with it. I'm just gonna...
Naminé!
That move was very punishing. Get dunked on, nerd. Okay, I managed to perfectly match his numbers there.
It's over. Yeah, it's It's over. Yeah. It's over.
Getting the Mega Elixir to proc could be a problem. I hit X, my 0 activated there. Okay, I think if I just play this one a little smarter, we can get it. I actually got him down pretty good way on his health.
Yeah. This is it.
Uh-oh. He just canceled out my Sonic Blade. That's a problem.
Fire! Heal! Yeah! It's over! Yeah! It's over! Yeah!
I did not actually mean to quite activate that, but you know what? I'll take it. I guess the smartest way to make this proc is... Oh, no. Hold on to a 0 for that. The more you know. Okay, sliding dash is very good against him. Or Sonic Blade. Although sliding dash is also pretty good because it helps close the distance. In terms of IRL releases, did Chain of Memories come out before or after 2? Original Chain of Memories came out before. It was on the GBA. But Rechain, the 3D remake for the PS2, came out later, I believe.
It's over! Get ready! This is it! You gotta be kidding. Fire! Heal!
Okay, I want to use Dark Firaga here. Great. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. I thought my numbers were higher. I want to use this ether so I can get some healing back. Or not. Just throwing my healing down the drain. That's okay. He has just a tiny little bit left. And he's gone. Was GBA also a card game? Yes. Yeah, it was an isometric platformer, action platformer game. I've never played the GBA version. I've always wanted to, though. But it was still active combat like this. It wasn't turn-based or anything. Probably a little more health.
Riku! Want some more? Ah!
Sora!
The GBA version was also a little broken. They didn't. There's a particular slate you need to get super early on
Riku!
because you literally cannot beat the
Looks
final
like
boss
I
in the
win.
GBA version without it.
Riku! Stop!
You are through!
I said stop!
Riku? Riku? Riku! What did you do? What did you do to him?
Broke his heart. I'd say more like she smashed it, really.
Smashed his heart? Then what's gonna happen to Riku?
Oh, you're so much fun to watch. If it's Riku you're worried about, then don't. Because Riku was never really here.
What do you mean?
Do you really think I'm just gonna say it? That's too easy. Oh, what to do?
Quit the games!
All right. Have it your way then. I know it'll kill you to hear this, but I think I can live with that. That thing lying there is just a puppet that Vexen made as an experiment. No more than a toy. It's laughable, really. It called you a fake, but it was a fabrication all along.
Also, its existence is a plot point in Kingdom Hearts
Not
3.
Riku? A fake?
Fake in every possible way. It was only finished recently. How could it remember anything? You get it? Its memories with Naminé
I
were
have.
just
I played
planted,
Kingdom Hearts
not
3
real.
several times now, actually. And,
Yep, that means
Remind,
all
the
this time it's
DLC.
been picking fights with you over memories that were counterfeit, trumped up, and completely bogus. Isn't that the truth, Naminé? Oh, so cute. But behind this little face, you do awful things.
Naminé?
You're so stupid. Don't you get it now? That's what Naminé's powers are about. She can enter, rearrange, and even create new memories of anything, even things that never happened.
but only in hearts that are
The girl
connected to
you've been
Sora's, which
trying
is
to
basically
protect
everyone
all
at this point, but
time is really a manipulative witch who shackles people's hearts.
Then my memories are all...
Oh, you do get it. Lies, lies, all lies. Just Naminé's illusions, nothing more. Binding you in the chains of your own memory was central to our trap. It makes me tingle to think how easily you were duped. So close to it, we were almost there. This was our only chance to turn the Keyblade Master into our puppet, but
he's not a
that
Keyblade
jerk
Master.
Axel,
They kind of
he used
retcon that idea
Naminé
later.
to betray us. So now, I'm left with no choice but to eliminate you.
You'll pay.
Don't! Huh? It's a little late for the witch to grow a conscience. Last time I checked, you're the one who fooled around with his memories, creating this mess.
I know, but...
I should tell you that I'm in an extremely foul mood.
You always
Thanks
are,
to you,
Larxene.
all our plans are ruined.
Oh, she just hit Naminé.
What's this? Are you upset?
Yes.
And you don't even actually know her.
I know that it's not right to hit her.
Maybe not. But still,
So she hit.
I
No, she
made
didn't hit nobody. She hit a nobody.
promise.
Also, good to see you, Step Zero.
What?
We've been getting back.
A
We've been losing
promise.
more memories, actually.
I made to Naminé to keep her safe.
But we've been getting
Maybe
good
my
progress.
memories are fake, but the promise is real to me.
And Squirrelage, yes, I do absolutely
That's
plan to play
why.
4 when it comes out.
I'll keep it.
I actually intend to play all the series main series on stream. The only thing I
You're
don't
such an idiot.
want to play on stream
There
is
no promise, and there
the mobile
never
games,
was.
which I have played.
You're just delusional. Must you insist on playing the hero? Whatever. If that's the way you want it.
I
you're
am
going down
quite the fan,
alone.
yes. Oh my gosh, Donald, you healed me, and it has to be in a cutscene.
Donald! Goofy! You found me!
Of course we did. We were worried about you.
And we promised. We promised that we would protect you.
You won't ever be alone. It's always been the three of us, and we stick together.
And that is how it's going to stay.
Okay. Have it your way. More pain for you means more fun for me.
I think Larxene is a good villain in this one. She gets underserved in 3. But anyway, the Rotida, we actually already had a Rotida Step Zero. Can still be awkward when you go for. So I'll just give you the brief recap version. It was basically Jesus says, "Stop judging," and it's like, okay, the stopping part can be difficult in and of itself. Oh my goodness. Girl, I did not ask for this. But we can ask each day and progress in it. I don't like it, that's the problem. I was trying to do a thing. Do you think Disney has been chill with the way Square's treated the series? No. No, Disney has most actively not been chill about it. They've been very hands-on. From the beginning, Disney originally wanted Donald to be the hero, actually, while Square wanted it to be Mickey. And the compromise was to invent a new character.
How do you like this? It's over.
Like, I think Disney's been smart with the product. No, I'd rather you not. No, 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 that's okay. No, no, ah. Might be better off if you drop the giant metal lightning rod. I mean, there's no canonical evidence of what a Keyblade is made of. How is that a compromise? Because they made it into something entirely new. That was neither a Square character that already existed, and nor was it a pre-existing Disney property. So.
It's over. It's over.
Yeah, I want her to use Blade Storm here. No, I said use Blade Storm. There we go. Okay. Probably just do that. No, 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 that broke. Dang it, she used a 0 on me there. That really honks.
How do you like this?
I don't. But I'm glad I still have a 0 left. I was not paying attention to what she was doing. I should have put 0 against her there, but don't want to use a Donald because he might cast lightning on her. But I'm probably gonna get knocked out here. In any case, Sora seems pretty square to me. Ouch, it's hip to be square, I guess. We almost got there for the record. You can't see it, but she was down to her, halfway through her penultimate hit bar. I will not vanish. Okay, I'm gonna wait for her to use Mega Bolt here. I said I'm going. I would really like you to use this slate you have lined up. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. Yep. Okay. What? What do you mean I have no heart? You're the nobody. Nope. Dang it! Ah, I swear I activated that. Oh, Heartless are the heart. They don't have a heart. They are the heart. And nobodies do still have emotions. Even though Xemnas says they don't, he lies to them. But they can also then regrow a heart and have their own heart and become their own person. We see that happen later in the series. No lightning. That's okay. I like it fine when you do that because then I can cancel it.
It's over. Yeah. It's over. You're done.
Shoot. Okay, I'm still alive. Oh, that was not good, losing all the healing there. I might just be dead here. Yeah. I felt like that fight was going better than that. I was wrong. Yes, quite evidently. I like it fine. I'm going to risk a Donald here to protect the elixir going off. And that's okay, she cancels Donald anyway. But that's fine, because I still got everything else I needed.
This is it.
Vanish!
This is it. Yeah. It's over.
Vanish! You have no heart! Vanish! How do you like this?
Heal.
I feel so bad.
This is it.
Okay, she's on her last hit bar. Health bar? I keep calling it a hit bar. Yeah, I don't know why. Oh, shoot. No, get out there. There we go.
Be happening.
We did it.
First try. Fortunately, we're not going to be able to finish up today unless things go very well in the next level, which I don't think they will. So we'll probably have to finish up next week. This game's taking a little longer than I planned, but oh well.
No. I refuse to lose. There's such a bunch of losers.
Well,
I think I'm fainting. No.
you're
this isn't
unexisting.
The way I won't allow.
Marathon stream, no sleep till credits. No.
You must be Nominee. It's good to meet you.
I might try to find
Sora's, and my
some
name
time to do
is-
like a
You're
bonus
Goofy,
stream just to
and
catch
you're
up
Donald.
on this. I don't know.
What town did you know
Life's too
yet?
busy to find a good time though.
Congratulations, Sora. You finally found your friend. I'm so happy for you.
Gee, there sure are a lot of questions. Nominee, I know this probably won't be easy for you, but could you tell us what happened?
Of course. It's my fault after all.
No.
I took
I
the
am in
people
charge of
and
what games I
memories
play.
that were
It's pretty
inside
nice.
Sora's heart. And little by little I replaced them with false memories.
Hey, what about Sora's promise?
Made up. It was fake.
How could you do that?
Sora never really promised me anything. Me being with him on the islands, that was a lie, just like everything else. We never met. I was never Sora's friend.
And you were never anything more. Either.
No. You see, in all of your true memories, I was never really there.
Gee, then that must mean it was your magic that made the rest of us lose our memories too. Is there any way for us to ever get them back?
I can fix everything. If we go to the 13th floor. But Marluxia, he...
Bet I know who that is. Was he the fella who made you tamper with all of our memories?
If I didn't obey, he said I'd be locked in this castle forever. I've been alone for so long.
So you did what he told you to do because you were lonely?
I'm so sorry.
Steps here. No, she wasn't there. She didn't
Please
exist
don't
yet.
cry.
Oh. Of course.
And yeah, the models are pretty
I know
good.
I really don't have the right
They are.
to.
This
That's
is the
not what I
HD
meant.
re-release,
What?
but the textures are really just what's been upscaled,
It's like this.
not the models.
I'm really not happy about you messing with my memories.
Valid.
But, you know, I can't really get mad at you for it either.
Well, I think. Well,
These memories you gave me. In my head, I know they're lies. But they still feel right. Like the promise I made. I said I would protect you and that I wouldn't make you cry. Not ever. Naminé, if you cry now, I'll feel guilty, like I let you down. So don't cry. Please. Until I get my memories back, smile and try to be happy. It's easier on me that way.
Sora.
It's a Kingdom Hearts cutscene. Of course it's strange. Step Zero.
It's okay. Sora always gets like this every time he's around a girl.
Aw, cut it out. I thought you both lost your memories too.
Too bad. Good friends don't forget the good stuff.
Donald is savage.
Come on. There. That's it. That's the Naminé I remember. Yeah.
I'm okay
I
with my
really
memories
liked it
gone
when you
because the
used to
vibes are
smile.
good.
Of course, that was
You're so right,
really only in
Squirrelich.
my fake memories. But what I'm feeling now definitely isn't fake. It's real.
Thank you.
Well then,
Sora,
let's
you
go.
are valid. But also you're messed up in the head and we need to fix this. We're gonna
Naminé?
We're gonna put you to
Marluxia's
sleep
gonna
for a
be up
year.
there, so maybe you'd better stay down here.
Yeah. Maybe you could look after Riku? We'll come get you when it's over.
Okay.
Riku's pretty deactivated at this point.
Please be careful, Sora.
I'll be okay. I promise.
Ooh, Oblivion. Weep, 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 weep. Really important that she looks over a fake robot thing, like giving a rather unplugged controller. Yeah, you're totally playing, bro. You're Donald.
Who was it? Who's most important to me? Nothing.
Can't you remember?
No, I only remember Naminé. Come on, do you guys remember anything at all?
No, sorry, Sora. It's important, but I just can't remember. I don't want to be, but I'm getting scared.
Then we should really make a promise.
Huh?
A promise?
What you said back there kind of got my brain thinking.
Uh-oh.
Whenever you make a promise that's super duper big, maybe it gives you the courage to face the scary stuff.
Courage.
Yeah, let's do it. And if we get scared, or in trouble, or even if we get separated.
Or even if we sort of forget each other.
Whatever happens, we're friends.
All for one and one for all.
Sora learned Trinity Limit. And attack Donald and a Goofy. Yeah, so at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, they defeat the big bad villain. Oh yeah, the last level, by the way, is literally just the castle. Fun fact, actually. In Dream Drop Distance, you go to the land where there are the Three Musketeers, the Disney version with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy. And Donald and Goofy live in that world. I accept this badge with honor, Squirrelich. there's a Donald and Goofy in that world that is different from this Donald and Goofy. But the Mickey you meet there is, in fact, a younger Mickey who is training to become a Keyblade Master and is hiding in secret alongside that world's Donald and Goofy because he knows the other Donald and Goofy. Anyway, at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, they defeat the big bad villain for the Seeker of Darkness arc, as they called it. 4, it's getting Kairi and Sora back together because they wound up going different directions and different plans and different worlds, and yeah, basically it's the director finally making Final Fantasy 13 verses that he's always wanted to make. Verum Rex, whatever they're called. Ooh, Neo Shadows. I love Neo Shadows. I think this is the first appearance of Neo Shadows. I think this is a good time to use Holy. I was right. Let's see, how big is... Oh, I forgot. Castle Oblivion's stupid big. For some reason I thought it was small. I was wrong. At least they saved on the art budget for this world. Well, but they had to make assets just for this. It's a cool looking chest. Sora learned Raging Storm. Big fire tornadoes.
Yeah.
Got a dip. All right. You have a good day, Squirrel Edge. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the resub. Why did I take a drink of water there?
This is it. This is it.
I want to reorganize this deck, but I'll probably do that off stream between this week and next. Just so it... Although, I guess for the final boss, I probably just want to use the fire deck again. Because, spoiler alert, Marluxia's element is flowers. I got nothing to add to that. Oops. So you need an Ancient Orange deck. That's a terribly grim way of looking at it, but yes. Oh my goodness, this nerd keeps canceling out.
Fire! Heal! Fire!
No, 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 don't hit the fire one. Arrgh.
Yeah.
But it would be nice to have, because I have like 3 sliding dashes in here. It would be nice to just have those lined up. I have to laugh. That message getting caught by the auto mod.
Heal! Fire!
Get over here. Quit running away. Get hit by my sword. I may have added... So one of the, like, most emotionally difficult things I had to do in, to set up this stream was manually add certain phrases and words that are considered slurs. That was a very depressing day. No! Don't hide in the floor, you nerd.
Heal! Fire!
Those tall boys are creepy looking. I know. I've always liked the design of shadows, Neo Shadows. Because if you look really closely, you can see they also have this like really faint tracing of blue lines on them. Wait, them spinning on their back doesn't terrify you? And get down here.
It's over.
Get on my level. Wow, $10, $4, that's it.
This is it. Yeah. Yeah, it's over. It's over. It's over. Heal. Fire.
Oh. Fire makes them recover. Let's find out what Trinity Limit looks like. It looks like a Final Fantasy XIV attack. It's very effective. Also looks like an FF6 and FF9. Yeah, I just tend to associate it more with the Momorphiga because you have to basically spam that sort of thing. Like, I've watched some gameplay. I pressed triangle.
Yeah, it's over. Heal. Fire.
Why did he have to turn around right then?
Take this.
Yeah, I'm learning Trinity Limits very good. Ragnarok, that sounds useful. 7 to 9. 3 attack cards. Doesn't say if they have to be the same kind of attack card.
Yeah.
I didn't ask for a cutscene. No, we couldn't see whose ridiculous hair it was. Alright, while everyone's sleeping, I'm gonna see if I can... 0... Three, two. There we go, Ragnarok. Let's... What? What do you mean it broke? It's cheating.
It's over.
I feel like I'm going to be seeing this attack a lot during this part of the game.
It's over. Yeah.
I want to try that again.
Back off.
Okay. And something tells me there would have been more if
Fire.
I kept going.
It's over. It's over.
The high risk reward in boss fights. I could see that. Of course, you get it so late, you can only really use it in a boss fight, because Like, we don't fight Axel again, do we? I don't remember.
It's over.
It would be nice to get a red Nocturne card, because it boosts your fire attacks. And again, if I'm just going to use the fire deck to beat the boss.
Take this.
But I think I'm going to make this next room Where are we on the map? Okay, so we've reached the first corner. We're trying to make it to there. Yeah, I'm going to make this a save room, and we're going to pick this up again next week. I thought we could finish it. Honestly, I thought I could finish it last week. I forgot how long the... Of course, it's Kingdom Hearts. There's a bunch of cutscenes at the end. What was I thinking? But I am thoroughly sure we can beat it next week and start in. How many cards do I usually run? 0, actually. I tend to save them for boss fights. Sure. No, I mean, you look at my deck. There are no Heartless cards here. Oogie Boogie would probably be good to use in the last one. 2 more weeks of Source Side. I hope not. We are literally in Castle Oblivion. We're in Castle Oblivion in Castle Oblivion. It's weird when you think about it. Anyway, I'm pretty confident in our ability, but Vexen will probably run for sure because he's an auto revive. Maleficent could actually be good because we don't really rely a lot on the reload. We rely more on the elixirs and whatnot. So, anyway, we've got options. So, mouse, please, mouse. Oh my goodness, mouse. It's just barely out of range to work properly. So thank you so much to everyone for tuning in to Let Us Play. I've been your host, Father Evan. Yeah, we will meet Michael Mouse soon, hopefully. What is this? A Michael Mouse operation? Doesn't have quite the same ring, but oddly enough, still terrifying. But anyway, yeah, thank you to everyone for tuning in and joining. Thank you to all the new followers and the subs. We'll be back again tomorrow with Minecraft. That'll be Retro Tuesday through all of March. St. Michael Mouse. Oh dear. No. I will not be streaming this Thursday because I'll be at a conference in DC. So unfortunately that won't happen. Maybe a makeup stream at some point. I don't know. We'll kind of have to see. But when I get to 200 followers, which we're only 23 away from now, I'm going to do a bonus stream that's Super Nintendo Roulette. Have about 50 some odd games that I can play either on my Switch, on my Super Nintendo Mini, or my actual physical Super Nintendo with cartridge. And how it's going to work is it's going to be a random chance which one I have to play, and through bits and channel points you can change that. So we should have a lot of fun. It'll be a good bonus stream, good fun times. But yeah, so that's the rest of the week, and then next week back to usual with more Kingdom Hearts, more Minecraft, and next week for Spirituality Thursday we're going to be starting a new game. We're putting Spiritfarer on pause. It's really good, but I kind of want to. It's longer than I expected, and I want to like take it slowly. So we're going to actually shift gears to a game called Synaxarion Acts 1, and I'm really excited about that. It looks really interesting. But yeah, so I hope everyone has a great rest of their week, and I'll see you tomorrow. Let's see if anyone's live to go raid. Ooh, Hal is live. I'm going to send you over to Hal because he's playing a game I love, Ni no Kuni, Wrath of the White Witch. I'm probably going to wind up playing that myself on stream sometime. But I hope everyone has a great rest of their day. Take care and God bless, and let's get this raid going.
Marcus is a connoisseur of
I got an ad.
com.
This is really underwhelming. This is Persona